Bam, zippity zap, zoom. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and I'll be your host and game master for this episode 167 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Max will be playing the beautiful and talented paladin Brise. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful night. It's good to be up here this time.
That's right.
I can see everybody.
I prefer Max on top. I'm not going to lie. I do.
Every now and then we like to mix it up, you know.
That's keep our relationship fresh. Yeah. So last episode was really pretty tense and exciting. One of the better ones, I think. I really enjoyed it. And so, Max, why don't you fill us in about what happened last time?
Absolutely. So we are on the mountains in the wilderness of southern Nargaz. We know this mountain to hold be the home of the fortress of Lady Crom, the leader of a tribe of giants. I had been tasked with eavesdropping on these giants to find out what their business is and what their plans have been. They'd been spotted talking with another tribe of giants, making kind of negotiations and trades. So I had been tasked with finding out what the deal behind all that was. I'd met a druid named Sheercall on the mountain who also was interested in the giants. She's been trying to locate a secret entrance to the giant mines where they have enslaved goblins working. And she would hope to find the secret entrance and free the goblins. And she has a good chance that one of the goblin family who employed her, their part of their family is enslaved as well. So she's there trying to save them. So we've been teamed up trying to find this secret entrance. All of last session was basically us trying to find the entrance and not get spotted by these giants who are patrolling the mountain. And we had a couple of very close calls. Once when we had used some magic to try to disguise our trail, I believe. And whatever ward Lady Crom had on the mountain, she's known to be a giant, very skilled in magical arts, alerted them to our presence. And I mean, we just heard the rumbling of the earth and, you know, people like loud footsteps running towards us. And we had run the other direction, try to hide, and, barely avoided the getting caught by a pair of giants on patrol. Which is a really cool moment. So then we tried teleporting off the mountain, and there's another barrier of some sort that prevented that. And so we had another chase. Obviously, they had detected where we were the second time, and for sure now we've had two close calls. I think we're not going to risk a third, and so we're just trying to get off the mountain now, far enough away that we can safely teleport away. And we've been traveling for a few hours now. We're at 20 out of 100 exhaustion, and it's late in the afternoon. So we'll see what happens this session.
Yeah, you're both
everything, Kevin.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're both worn out. I mean, you've been slogging your way down the slope as quickly as you could, trying to avoid using magic since Lady Crom seems to have an ability to detect it.
No Karandrin points for you.
Quinn. I really do want us to start awarding Karandrin points one day. Like if we ever catch fire, that would just be so much fun. It would just be hilarious, you know. And all right, well, I've got you down for 1,000 Karandrin points. Pick a piece of merchandise. We'll pay for shipping and send it to you. You know, that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, we we're late afternoon. You guys are really tired. You can keep pressing on even at 0 exhaustion, just through active will. But as you might expect, when you've been exhausted in your own life, you make mistakes. You're just off your game.
Right.
And so don't take that 20 as a end all be all, but it does mean you've really got to understand you're going to be clumsy and so on. You guys were in a thicket, as I recall, right? Another cluster of trees.
Yeah, I think so. When we left off last session, I didn't note it down specifically. We had just been going down slope until the tremors from the giant's footsteps became too quiet to hear.
Right. And you were too tired to press on safely.
Right.
Yeah, because you were both at significant penalty for all your actions.
Right. So I turned to Sheer Call and said, I think we need to find some shelter for the night. There's no way we can press on in this state.
She jerks awake.
Stay with me.
Yeah. I guess we should mention that Shirkal is a lizard folk, called a Sith. All but clerical magic is banned in their society, and she left for that reason, being interested in other types of magic. She asked you to repeat what you said. You do, and she nods. She tells you her arts could help conceal, in this vegetation, but she's worried about casting any further spells.
Yeah, I think not casting magic will disguise us better than any magic you could cast. So I say, let's go a little further till we find something that will be well hidden in.
You're at the beginning of a barren stretch going downhill. This may be the best spot you guys can find. Uphill somewhat does seem like better hiding spots, but it is uphill.
Right.
Looking that way, here and there, several hundred yards away, you can see trees moving as they're being brushed aside by the giants. There is at least 2 patrols that you can spot by their disturbance of the trees. So the question, is obviously put to you both. Do you head back toward the giants somewhat, a couple of hundred yards, to find thicker vegetation, or do you make do here?
Let's make do here. I think the further we are from wherever her hold is, the better.
Be funny if Lady Crom's hold is on the her castle is in the the bottom of the mountain. You guys,
we're kind of assuming it's higher up, right? But you'd have like an entrance right here.
Right.
Entrance.
You hit an invisible wall, and you're like, ow, oh God, oh no, this is not good. You come across a giant welcome mat, and you're like, oh, what have we done? There's a giant Amazon package.
Pull out my invisible keys to open my invisible door.
Exactly. Oh God, I've lost my keys. Oh, Why didn't I put one of those locator fobs on it? Oh my god.
It's a silent locator fob.
um, so, she takes out a dagger. She starts cutting vegetation to patch holes and that sort of thing.
Okay.
You sort of follow her lead. Going to be cold rations tonight. She doesn't even want to start a fire. She's just so tired.
I tell her, careful not to cut too much. They have a sharp eye for where, little people have been.
Right.
Overheard a conversation earlier in the day.
She nods. She starts taking stones and like leaning them on anything that she's cut such that it folds down the stub,
Right.
And you guys, patch holes as best you can. Even leave some vegetation just to lay on yourselves as you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You guys crack out food. So I'll race a meal.
Okay.
Your first water skin is empty.
All right. Pull the second from my bag of holding.
She empties hers as well.
So we're now sharing a water skin. Okay.
You guys regain 30 exhaustion from eating. And sort of relaxing and watching. You guys rest. You're at about 70.
Okay.
That's about as good as it's going to get without sleep.
What time of day is it now? I mean, sundown.
Yeah, it's soon to be dark in the valley. Although you're, somewhat higher up, so you've got a few more minutes.
Right. And while we were resting, did I hear any more traces of giants through Azrael?
Well, and you're checking as well, of course. Like whenever you go to the edge to cut something, you're scanning the trees and so on.
Right.
The giants are headed down and then splitting up. The two patrols are splitting. As they were approaching each other, then they moved down. Now they're moving back across. Roll to stay awake.
33.
You catch yourself napping. Sheer Call is leaned up against a tree. Had been cutting shorter pieces of vegetation to patch smaller holes, and has fallen asleep with her dagger in her lap.
I go to wake her up, and I say we need to alternate. We need to try to have a watch. This isn't going to work if we both fall asleep.
She volunteers. You're like, But you're like, I fell asleep too. I don't know.
Right. I mean, she volunteers for first shift, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. So I say, yeah, just, wake me when you feel too tired to stay awake.
When you both wake up.
Damn. Classic Nightmare on Elm Street. Don't fall asleep. Need you to stay up. No.
Azrael. It's a note of fear from Azrael that wakes you. Shirkaw is rolling over in your direction. She can't meet your eye because she's just so ashamed of having fallen asleep.
Mm-hmm.
The giants are not more than 100 yards away. A clawed hand, grabs you by the shoulder, and she leans in and she's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't even know when it happened."
It's fine. At least we're both a little rested now. Azrael hears the giants are close. We should move down slope.
Well, you're in a good hiding spot. Remember the rest of it is the rest.
Okay.
I mean,
that's true. That's true. I forgot. You're right. It's barren.
Yeah.
Head, so we'd actually be exposed. What time of day is it? Is it like nighttime?
It's absolute dark.
Wow. I guess giants can see in the dark.
No, but they have giant lanterns.
Oh my god. Careful with that thing. You're gonna start a forest fire on this mountain.
No kidding. Burn all your cover.
Yeah. Yeah, they just burn the mountain. Why do they need trees?
They still build stuff, handles of their weapons and furniture. They are headed this way, but not with any urgency.
So I just say, just stay low and be alert. Might pass over our spot soon.
Looks like they're going to pass south of your position.
Okay.
They emerge from trees. It is 3 giants. They narrow the shutter of the lantern to a fairly narrow beam, and they just sweep that barren area in a couple of passes. You can hear them talking intermittently, hear them. They're about 60 yards away now. They are to the west and slightly down slope. You hear for hours now, and all she has to do is cast a few spells. This is going to be our whole night searching this. Another says something. sure they're on this side, though. Wish those little goblins would hurry up, finish their patrol. It occurs to you if you concentrate on Azrael, her sensitive is more hearing. Her sensitive is more. Her hearing is more sensitive. And
catch more
right.
detail. Yeah, I'll do that.
A third says, "We'll be out here all night. You can bet it. She doesn't care for magic users on the mountain. It can only mean trouble." She sent word to that dwarven bitch to see if she can get answers from her. The first says dwarves and spits on the ground. They move further into the barren area. They're looking around the bases of trees at the bottom edge of the area. They're about 100 foot now to the south. 100 yards to the south.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing nothing. Nothing chopped. No old fires, nothing. Quit your belly aching and keep searching. The lantern flashes across your area of cover, but doesn't pause. Both of you kind of gasp. They cross along the lower boundary. Oh, that's hilarious. Lower boundary of the barren area.
Okay.
They've passed beyond even Azrael's hearing.
Okay.
So if you concentrate on her feet, she can still feel their footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 200 yards away now. They pass again into the trees. You'll need to convey all this to Sheer, well, whatever you wish, to Sheer Call.
Right. So now that they're out of earshot, I'll tell her that their patrols are going until morning. Sounds like they're sure we're on this side of the mountain, but I mean, they just passed right over us, so I don't think we'll see them again.
Do you want to mention the goblins?
Oh, yes, yeah. The goblins are also out on patrol. So we should be keeping our eyes low to the ground as well as high up. I was thinking about that. We both had shape-shifting. We could both be goblins, and that would be that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, we freaking lost on this mountain.
Right, yeah.
Point us back to Lady Crom's entrance.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. Feel like, yeah, just show us the way to the castle, would you?
Yeah.
You know?
Give us a ride on your shoulders.
Um, let's do it this way. All right. No more sight of trees moving. Sheer says that she'll continue her watch. She apologizes again.
I'll stay up all night.
Exactly.
I say that's fine. Thank you.
You drift off to sleep pretty quick. One, two. She shakes you awake. Felt like just an instant you were asleep. She tells you it's probably not too many hours before dawn.
Okay.
You're still pretty exhausted. She says there's been no sound, no sight of any trouble.
Okay.
She looks really tired.
So I'll say, I'll take the next watch. You get some sleep, and then when the sun rises, we can get off this mountain.
She nods, covers herself with some vegetation after she rolls up in a bedroll. She's asleep very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Roll to stay awake.
That's an 8.
Okay.
As soon as she lays down, I just lay down next to her. I'll just watch them with my eyes closed. It's fine.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, man.
All right. Make a roll.
3.
Okay. Sunlight wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
It is very early dawn. Azrael is still asleep. Um, There's
How is
fire.
another?
There's fire rising, smoke rising from a place higher slope into the west.
Okay.
Looks to be the size of a campfire or bonfire. It's quite distant, but on the mountain. You have to assume it's the goblins.
Hmm.
You're still really tired. You're at 80 exhaustion, but still feel like crap. Sheer Call is sleeping peacefully. Sunlight has not woken her up. What would you like to do?
I mean, I feel good enough to, get up and keep moving down slope.
Slowly.
Okay.
You don't, I mean, you would not trust yourself to climb.
Right.
That would be really dangerous, you think? Maybe with a rope.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Then yeah, I'll rouse her and rouse Azrael and say that I ended up falling asleep too, but we made it to dawn. I point up at the smoke in the distance. Likely the goblin patrols out on the mountain.
she peeks out her side of the enclosure of the concealment. Turns back to you, says, "No fires, no giants here." Um,
I say, do you feel, after you rest up a bit, do you feel good enough to continue down slope slowly?
I think our first is going to be a sprint across that barren area. Although maybe we shouldn't sprint. We'd leave an open trail for the goblins to follow if we're not careful. But that's a few minutes out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Let's eat and think. So, race a ration. You share your water, I assume.
Mm-hmm. How am I looking on water? So it was a full water skin. It's
So,
been about almost a day, almost 24 hours.
so it's half gone by the time you're done with
Okay.
breakfast. You know, both of you talk about trying to find a spring or creek. You guys try to leave your concealment as concealed as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Before you leave, I guess you probably should have a discussion about whether you think it's safe to use magic anymore, or do you still want to hold off?
I mean, Why don't I could risk a detect magic spell, and then that will tell us more information, I think. So if we're willing to use magic at all, might as well do that.
To detect if the ban against teleporting is still in place.
Right. And then we'll know whether we should continue on or whether we should try another teleport now.
What level is that spell?
Detect magic is level 6, I believe.
Yeah. She suggests maybe getting further away from the goblins before doing that.
Okay.
She, is clearly battening down everything she's carrying so it doesn't bounce or make sound.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the condition of your flail.
I mean, I'd rather have it out my belt in case I need it. How much noise does it really make?
I mean, it's chains. It's multiple chains.
Chinking, clinking along. I mean, if she thinks silence is important, then I'll concede. So I'll put that away in my bag, and I'll instead.
The spear's a good walking stick.
Yeah, I'll take out my sorcerer's spear. Use that.
That's not good. She leads the way. She points silently to a denser set of brush on the far side of the barren stretch.
Right.
You nod, and off you guys go. It's going to take several minutes moving carefully and quietly. Every time you guys, pause, it's, behind a boulder. Even if you have to lay down for a moment in front of the boulder, if it's that low, just anything to conceal yourself. You think to check the skies. No sign of anything in the air. Roll for me.
61.
She stumbles a couple of times but doesn't fall. No appreciable noise. Just tense moments.
Mm-hmm.
You make it to the other side of the barren stretch. Probably park the brush as gently as you can without breaking branches. Slope is steeper. You're now to having to, work your way back and forth, finding ways down.
Right. Catching myself with my spear.
Vegetation is remaining nice and dense up top.
Mm-hmm.
Through a hole in the trees. Sheer call points down slope. Trees are being disturbed, going west across your path, but several hundred yards away.
Okay. If I attune to Azrael's senses, does he detect the same kind of vibrations, the giants, or something else?
No vibrations whatsoever.
Okay. I say, whatever it is, it's not a giant. Azrael can tell that.
Or it's too far away.
Okay.
It's several hundred yards.
Right. I guess it's hard to know the limit of his. Yeah.
Sensitivity.
Right. So then won't say anything if I'm not sure.
You guys just really luck up. Dear Lord, you know how many 100s I have rolled in these past 42 minutes?
And we're still on this fucking mountain?
But they may not be all good questions for you.
Miracle roll. The mountain disappears. And
Do you have one you would like to do? You passed up last session.
I mean, no, we need to get off this mountain.
Is there a miracle roll you think that would be somewhat helpful? I mean,
there's always one that's helpful, right? One that makes
discovering an old overgrown road on the mountain that allow faster passage, but still covered up the top, where
yeah. Yeah, that's why don't we try that?
All right. Roll it up.
Old road leading down the mountain. It's just 46.
All right. Well, at least you took your shot. You guys make excellent time. You're just very lucky in finding like sparse areas that still have some coverage to them. Mm-hmm. They might be narrow or whatever, but you've hoped that by the end of the day, maybe by midday tomorrow at the latest, you'll at least be off the mountain and on the valley proper. You guys are at 40 exhaustion.
Okay. I asked Sheer Call, should we risk a detect magic spell? See, we're at the edge of the territory.
She says yes. Also, let's see, I left my phone on again. Sorry, guys. There we go. Killed it. But I should have also rolled for discovering water in that 4 hours of travel. And you did discover water.
Okay.
Everybody's water skins are full now. She suggests that we eat before you cast the spell.
Good idea. Burning through my whey bread here.
Yeah.
I only have 59 whey bread left.
20 days.
What am I going to do? Now I'm going to starve.
You're both back up to 60 exhaustion after eating.
Okay.
All right. You're sort of penalized for fatigue and lack of sleep. So I'm assuming you want to do a very careful casting.
Correct.
Okay.
And then my Sorcerer's Spear to help reduce that fumble as well. So casting a 6th level detect magic to 31.
It's okay, not great.
Right.
Definitely magic in the area. Boy, I'm glad that roll didn't go the other way. You got to sort of wait with bated breath. There's no reaction to anything.
Right.
You let Sheercall know that you can definitely still detect magic.
Right. Quinn, you do not get a miracle roll. I'm sorry. Now, could I use my miracle roll to influence events in the real world? Is that...
That's right. Well, there's certainly some miracle rolls that Jack needs. So, yeah. Good. So you guys look at each other. Do you want to risk resting further? Do you want to keep going?
I think we should press on. The going's been all right. I mean, I look at Sheercall and see if she's willing to press on.
She's less enthused about the idea, but she understands. I know you like whips, Quinn, so miracle and otherwise.
Miracle Whip is a good name, but I feel like they should have called it Miraculous Whip. I think that's so much funnier. This Miraculous Whip is delicious on my dessert.
You guys start working your way down.
Mm-hmm.
But you're having a tough way making any progress down. You come across a backpack hanging on a tree. There's a note pinned to it. The note is in Dwarven. Sorry, not Dwarven. In Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "Hope these help. Fraldrum." You open it up.
No, man, I'm not trusting that. I'm staying far away from that bag.
You can.
No, I mean, I didn't realize there were such arts in the world. Magic continues to amaze.
There's another note on top. When you open the backpack, it says, "I was summoned by Lady Crom last night,
Mhm.
asking if I would like my mischief makers alive. I knew she hadn't captured you. She would have flaunted you in front of me. I've been hidden in the skies for quite a while, trying to find you. I would teleport you if I could. This is the best I could do.
Hmm.
The two cloaks, there are two cloaks beneath. They are plus 20 magic, plus 20 rune
Okay.
to stalk hide.
But they are not an invisibility cloak.
No.
Damn it.
The Sheer Call looks at you questioningly, apparently unable to read Goblin.
Right. I say, how to best explain it? My master who sent me is trying to help us. These should help us make our way off the mountain more quietly. I give her one of the cloaks.
You know, she can tell from a touch what they are, just as you can.
Right.
Since bonuses don't require attunement. And, you know, her eyes go wide.
Mm-hmm.
You have considerable resources.
I have considerable allies.
Yeah.
Nectar.
Quinn, there's nothing that could hide your sexiness. Nothing.
I do find it funny that the role master describes it as stalk / hide. Like,
yeah,
careful who you're giving these cloaks to. You know?
Right.
I have a plus 100 to stalking.
Exactly.
The girls will never see me.
That's right. Or guys. I've heard stories.
Balabry's a crazy place, let me tell you.
That's right. She swaps out her cloak and I assume you do the same.
Yeah, my cloak of billowing, I'll trade that out for this guy. Note that down in my inventory. This whole like thing feels very Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, just like walking through Mordor, you know, hoping at any moment it could be discovered.
Yes.
So,
tense. Yeah.
Literally, as soon as you put on the ring, as soon as I cast a spell, that could be all.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off you guys go. The slope, foliage, the terrain, everything is just pushing you guys further and further east.
Okay.
You've made no progress going down. You guys break through some brush. You've even been driven somewhat further upslope. And there in a massive clearing is a sleeping giant. About 50 yards away, just sort of, back into the brush
Mm-hmm.
and look at each other.
Well, good thing we just got these close. I mean, is there any sign of more giants about, or does it seem like just any other broken brush or broken trees?
Slope has a thin covering of soil and grass, multiple footprints of giants. No
Okay.
question. This may be another party of 3, and one just got tired of it and said, I'm taking a nap.
Yeah. I cast charm.
Yeah.
At what level do I need to cast charm?
Yeah, no kidding.
Charm a giant. I mean, I tell Sheer Call, I think we just continue, we give this guy a wide berth and then hopefully continue back down the mountain. Probably have to travel for 5 minutes, east, continue going east.
So you guys need to scout around him to find the easiest way to go,
Right.
the most reasonable way to go. Do you want to split up to do that or stay together?
Let's stay together.
Does Azrael play into this? Could you send Azrael around the giant to look what's on the far side?
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to Azrael to find what's good terrain, though, for us to walk down, right?
Well, he could see, and you could concentrate on what he's seeing.
Okay. Yeah, if you think so. Yeah, we can try that.
Because he's not going to wake the giant. I mean, talk about stalk-eyed.
Right.
Especially stalking. Yeah. Pouncing lessons.
Yeah, he starts like stalking the giant. I'm like, Azrael, no. Good thing he's not a dog.
Oh, yeah.
I would start barking immediately.
Off he goes. You're just seeing if it's worthwhile to cut, straight across. As soon as he gets around the giant, can see the far side. There's no question that the giants cut east also on their patrol. So you would be following in their footsteps, which might be good because they're unlikely to trace back over it.
Right. Also, maybe they came from, down the mountain. So they know. I mean, their path doesn't match what we can take, but yeah, I see your point. So
report to Sheer Call. She wants to try all the other directions, though. She really wants to know what's the best thing to do. And she points out that when this giant wakes, he's probably going to follow this trail to catch up with his patrol.
I thought the steps were heading up slope. You think they're heading down slope?
No, they're headed east,
Right.
which
Okay.
is um, even slope. You know?
Right. So I say we'll follow it, and then if we hear it waking, which we definitely will, um, we'll veer off the path in another direction.
She agrees. So you guys sort of edge around the giant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's roll some stalk hide.
Nothing better than edging a giant.
roll,
95. Well, look at that.
roll again and add it.
Plus 87. Thank you.
He rolled a 100.
My God.
Wow,
Hey, we leave the cloaks behind. No thanks, Fraldrin. We don't need them.
that's right. All right, roll one more time, and you're around the giant.
Imagine I trip on the cloak and fall down.
Oh, that would be funny.
38.
Not terrible. She rolls a 9. Falls, makes little noise. Made it around. Giant is still asleep. You guys keep going.
Okay.
You're almost to the eastern side of the mountain. I mean, you have found no luck going down.
Jeez. Well, if we get off this side of the mountain, then we'll probably
That's
be less
true.
patrols.
This is true. Yeah, it's mid-afternoon. The sun is behind you. You're in the shadow of the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not good. You guys stop for a break. Your exhaustion is down to 30.
Perhaps we should take a little break as well.
Okay.
Azure behind me is getting very antsy.
That's right. You've got things to deal with.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a break as Sheercall and Brise take a break, and we're gonna stretch our legs, refill our drinks. So just bear with us for a few moments. We'll be right back with you.
All right.
Hey, everybody, thanks for being patient with us. Let's get Max back here. There he is. Oh, no, he's on bottom. No, that won't do.
Thank
There you go.
Thank you. Well, actually, I mean, I do want to be on the bottom of the mountain, so maybe
It's a indication.
luck.
It's a so yeah, we're sneaking around a giant. You've gone around the giant.
Mm-hmm.
Off you go.
So we're taking a break. Soon we have
Yes.
lunch.
Yeah, so scoot off the trail. Um, how long do you want to rest? I mean, is it just eat and go, or really take a rest?
Uh,
I mean, you guys are tired.
yeah. I wish Fraldrup's note said, how much longer. I mean, I don't know if she would be able to put that into words. We should rest for a while. It might be, like you said, we might just need to be in the valley, completely off the mountain, another day of travel. So we'll take it slow.
Oh, the good thing is Frowdrum knows your plight,
Right.
which means Athene will know your plight.
Right.
So you've got some grace now in terms of, trying to rush back to the keep.
Right. I'm not worried about them not knowing where I am. So.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys have to go uphill to find a decent bit of cover.
Mm-hmm.
Azrael's hackles go up. You concentrate on him. Can feel tremors on the mountainside
Okay.
approaching. And they get closer and closer.
Can you tell if they're coming from behind us?
They are definitely coming from behind you.
Okay. I say it is now a waking giant instead of a sleeping giant. Let's find some cover, and hopefully he passes to catch up with the rest of his group.
Striding vigorously, warhammer in hand.
Hmm.
You guys are only about 10, 15 yards off the trail through the tree trunks and brush. You see his heavy arms swinging. Strides on past. Sheercall does not like giants. They really have an impact on her. She's taking very deep breaths. She's shaking. The giant bellows out a name.
Marco!
Sort of.
Yeah.
And
Polo, get your ass over here.
that's right. Seems to pause. You no longer hear the branches being pushed aside, knocked aside. And then he begins heading south, downslope. just from the way the sounds are retreating. He's well out of sight.
Okay.
You guys rest for a good hour. There's not much sunlight left. You look at each other because, you got to sort of, do you bother hitting the road, or do you?
Is this a good enough cover for camping?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not as good as your last spot, but pretty good.
Right. And the patrol just passed through here, so
right.
Feels like it'll be safe at least until tomorrow.
She's fine to stay. She goes and gets some of the flattened vegetation from where they walked. And she cuts from it.
Good idea.
And that is when a green light pierces the area beside you, and the flower people and the Trinidas float through.
Oh my gosh. Quinn, nodding off. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, man. Love you.
You're going to miss something cool, though. We'll have to catch up next time.
That's right. We'll get you an update.
Good luck getting off Candy Mountain, Charlie. Oh, man.
Do you remember that?
I wake up. I was just spinning Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory the whole time.
That's funny.
All of Karandrin is just a dream of pure imagination. Okay. I, turn to the Trinidas and say that be quiet. This is a dangerous place.
You are in trouble? The Trinidas asked with that chorus of voices.
I nod and say there are giants on this mountain that are searching for me and my friend. And they are keenly aware of magic or magical arts. And I'll listen to Azrael and see if I can hear any vibrations in response to their teleport. Unusual as it is.
Seemingly no response, not
okay.
in range of his hearing or in feeling it through his paws in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Sheer Call returns with a bundle of cut limbs and so on. Stop short.
I say these are friends. They're good fae who have helped me in the past. I don't think the giants have detected them.
She bows to the tiny deer, and she bows very deeply to the flower person. She gestures, she sets her bundle down and gestures to the flower person and says, the Biranos I know. They're very revered
Hmm.
in Sithis. Your people, she says to the Trinodos, I do not have the honor of knowing. The Trinodos say the honor is ours. It takes but a moment to see that your heart is green. It is good that you two have met.
Can you explain? Is it Viranos?
Biranos.
Birinos?
Yeah.
I've been playing Karandrin for 4 years now and finally learned the name of those things.
That's right.
Although I've never quite really researched them or asked
Right.
too extensively.
And of course, that's only what.
The Sithis call them, right?
Right. Shere Kal turns to you and says, you must be very special to have such friends.
I say, very, very fortuitous.
The Trinidas asks, you are very troubled. What is your trouble?
I'll explain that as I said, the giants are searching for giants. I explain are literally like me, but much larger, and they are crawling over this mountain, searching for me and my friend here. We were trying to get off the mountain so that we can use our arts to get away. There seems to be a ban on us teleporting or using our arts to while we're on the mountain.
We had a little difficulty as well, but not much.
Okay. I wonder if you could help us get off the mountain?
Of course.
All right.
You were considered one of the flower people. They would always help you in this regard.
You'd have to leave the other one behind, though. It's like, God.
We can only take half of your friend.
Take her head in my legs.
That's right. It's your best feature. You've got great legs.
I mean, next time you roll up a character, you know how you roll for beauty, right? Roll for like beauty of each body part.
That's right.
Great thighs, but terrible toes.
That left foot is to die for. It's just practically glows, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I very much appreciate that.
As you may recall, you must hold in your mind pretty firmly an idea of where to go.
Right.
The flower people do not have our concept of place. And it is only through mind contact that they're able to possibly grasp what it is that you would want.
I say, if I'm thinking of a place, but could they take both me and Shere Kal to the same place?
Yes.
Okay.
But you must pass through the Green Realm.
Right.
We learned that that was not easy for you. Perhaps we could wrap cloth about your face.
Was it? I'm trying to remember if I know to hold my breath, do I think I'll be good? Or
well, it's still unpleasant having that stuff on your face.
Right, Brise is pretty particular about. So I'm like, I think that's a good idea. I'll take out one of my shirts. I can just bundle up into kind of a mask.
You probably want to explain all this to Sheer Call as well.
Yeah. So I say Miranos will help us. They're going to teleport us through a place called the Green Realm, where the best way I can describe it is it's underwater, and they'll be unable to breathe. You may want to cover your face. It's a very strange sensation.
She nods, sort of, okay,
It's like trying to explain like a really cool song to like someone. It's like, listen, it gets really good, at like
Right.
1:50. Just you have to trust me.
Right. The end is the best part, honestly.
An 8-minute song?
Dream Theater? What? 30-minute song? So you guys prepare. Where are you thinking about going?
Probably to outside of. I think we agreed. Yeah, outside of Balabry. If there's a spot that I remember. Well, I know he said inside. I had difficulty remembering a particular spot. So perhaps, just that spot on the road to the keep, I would have memorized pretty.
So right outside the keep, that spot you teleport to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have that pretty firm in my mind.
Yeah, you feel confident about it. Oh, stickle. Oh, sorry.
It's the Green Realm coming out.
Yeah, coming out. I'm clearing my nasal passages after the last voyage, so. So they approach. You take Sheer Call's hand. Trinidas alights again on the Birnos's shoulder, and you take one of the vine-like appendages of the flower people.
Mm-hmm.
And deep breaths, and there is green light expands and moves across you. You find yourself submerged in the moderate green light that permeates this gel. Recall, you see giant root structures coming down into the gel, both near you and very far in the distance, almost lost to sight. Sheer Call is in a complete panic.
Oh my god.
She rolled a -89.
Oh my god. Good Lord, Sheer Call.
Roll for me.
14.
Yeah, you're too shocked to do anything.
He's like, and the Baronos are very revered in Sithis. After this, she's like, oh my god, fuck that.
Exterminate them. She goes back and leads a crusade against them.
Where's my herbicide? She become like an anti-druid.
Yeah.
Oh god.
She's broken free of your hand. She begins drifting downward into the gel.
Are we being like pulled by the flower children?
You've just arrived. It's hard to tell what's going on.
Okay.
There's a lot of movement. You're jerked toward her. You don't know who's doing the jerking. She suddenly is jerked toward you. You see her just get yanked toward you.
Mhm.
There's a sudden rush of movement. You all surge forward. Another bright green light washes over you. And you emerge damp but whole on the side of another mountain. Roll for me.
96.
Their aim was spot on. You know exactly where you are. Sheer Call is on hands and knees. She's ripping at the garment on her face. She's taking deep breaths, shaking her head. She's apologizing. She's pretty coherent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know to expect that. I'm sorry. I just panicked. The Trinidas says, "You are fine now. All is as you were used to."
Right. How long? In just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it was very fast. I rolled how long it would take them to, because they have to travel some within the Green Realm. 07. So you were very nearby, whatever location corresponds to where you were going. So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she was going to straight out drown out there.
Drift off or appear somewhere else.
Yeah. She sits back on her, on her haunches.
Mm-hmm.
She's still gathering herself, but she's more like processing than panicked.
Right.
The Trinidas, watches her for a long time, then turns to you and says, "Before the moment gets away from us, we have news."
Do tell.
We know that your peoples value metals.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it worth noting that one of the Philistine ruins that they have been pillaging, reclaiming might be a better word, since it is sort of theirs.
Right.
There we go. Just put their thing up. They discovered there and have hauled away a wagon of silver ingots and a wagon of golden ingots. Bars. If these are particularly valuable, and they had quite a guard on them, so they seem to be valuable to them at least.
Right.
It could mean an acceleration of their plans, or certainly an increase in their power.
Mm-hmm. I asked, do you see where they took the carts to?
They are still en route.
Okay.
But certainly they seem to be headed to the Philistines' fortress.
Okay. So silver and gold. Yeah. Okay. We're going to form an undead bank and then dominate the market. No, I mean, the most reasonable thing, right, is I guess, yeah, they need to hire or barter with, I don't know, maybe it's for Chelbrick because he's human, right?
Can conduct trade. So
Right.
yes.
Okay.
So they have they have a means of barter with him that's more than just task oriented.
Right.
Through Chelbrick, they could have a host of weapons made.
Yeah.
And high quality weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But they could hire a massive workforce to finish the fortress faster.
Right.
Though it's still probably, it's probably still some months off before that's more complete. Obviously it's already formidable in terms of just getting into it.
Right.
They've got a wall, they've got guards, and they're Philistine. Very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, we shall follow the wagons, of course, but it seems certain they're going to the fortress.
Right.
Is there anything you need to tell them or request of them or ask them?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since we spoke, but I don't think we've learned anything else about Chelbrick or the Philistine. I asked them if they have seen any human survivors, or I guess, do they know the state of Overdal? Overdal's estate was razed. Okay, well, now I'm remembering now. So his estate was razed, and then he is now at Mirgral's keep, or at least was. I don't know if
He left. He's either in town or he moved to a different town to try to provide for him and his household and his servants.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, so I tell the Trinidas, if you come across any survivors, if you could help lead them out of the valley. I mean, it's not, I imagine there's still some who might have survived the Philistines' wrath.
we have seen none, but
Okay.
we will send out more scouts specifically for that reason. But I will tell you that if they treat us unkindly, my people will have nothing to do with them.
That's fair.
We are also keeping watch as carefully as we can on the great demon's body that was given to Chelbrick.
Okay.
It remains lying in his courtyard. They've moved it away from the main gate. Guards of various people stand around it, usually 4 at a time.
That was a Luktu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A powerful demon for any new watchers that was slain and left in the Vetch, which is where the Philistine are.
So powerful that his body is apparently used to barter with powerful wizards for whatever dark art they can use it for.
Yeah. Sheer call stands. gathers herself up and brushes herself off. You guys are already practically dry of the green dampness.
The goo.
Mm-hmm. And she's got some psychological reactions to things, man. Giants she does not do well with, and the green realm she does not do well with.
Right.
Jeez. She was.
Yeah, she took a little trip to the green realm, you know what I mean?
That's pretty
A little too much. Down.
I love on Reddit. I may have told you this before. I love on Reddit reading the subreddit. What's this plant?
Yeah.
Whenever it's possibly marijuana. Oh my God, the comments are so great. It's just, oh, what that is. It's just so funny.
You should build a taller fence.
It's a weed, some will say. And you need to destroy it by having tiny localized fires.
Tiny localized.
It cracks me up every time. I just love it. One post was like, "Hey, I found this growing in the front of our new house," and someone posted, "That's something that needs to be growing in the back of your new house." I just love it. It cracks me up. So, is there anything else you need from the Trinidas?
Yeah, I was going to ask them, let me check my goals here, if they have ever heard of a creature called gosh darn it, why don't I have it listed here? Remember the crown? So I asked them about the 9-fingered candle. If they've heard of an artifact called that of potentially human make. And also, or a creature known as why is it hard to remember this thing's name?
Is it Uthnorn?
Uthnorn. Thank you. I gotta write that down in my goals here. I don't know why I didn't put it.
Of course we know the Uthnorn.
Of course we know the Uthnorn.
They are Fae.
Really?
They would be beautiful to your eyes. Winged. White. White as snow. Uthnorn means in one of the languages, white flyers.
I say that doesn't match the description of what I'd heard. This was a dark, formless creature that could cover an entire city.
When they fly together, they could appear as a great cloud.
Oh my God.
And if corrupted, their white turns dark.
Wow.
They're a peaceful and wonderful folk. Many are on the land that you call the peninsula. We have not seen any in, well, I thought it was going to be a long time, but I rolled a 4. So 30.
Any in about 20 minutes. Just talking to them.
20 years or so. Okay. There was a group that would visit us near an elven city to the north of us.
That'd be Pleston, maybe?
That would be. Good job.
Okay.
It's the most logical answer anyway. Right. There may be a large town or something else up that way, but
right. Visited the Trinidas.
If possessed by evil, they become extremely violent. They always carry weapons with them as a matter of self-defense.
I asked, what would one do? How do they become corrupted? And can they be uncorrupted?
Dark influences, prolonged contact with the undead, cursed areas.
Can't spell prolonged. Jesus.
I rolled like, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. Because I knew what they were.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, given what they are, do the Trinidas know them or know about them?
Right.
I rolled really high, and I was like, well, I don't know how he's ever going to get this answer, because why would he ask? But you asked, so.
That's why. I mean, I remember after playing Karandrin for a couple of years, I'm like, let me just ask anybody about anything, because you never know what they've come across.
Right.
The world is so organic,
Yeah.
Just who has encountered what?
Right. I mean, you may not ask an innkeeper, but an adventurer, a magic creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, well, maybe they have some sort of community with these, or, interaction with these.
Right.
I would hope the destruction of the crown might release them, but I don't know if it would undo their corruption. To think of them trapped is hard for another Fae to hear. But to release them onto the world, not knowing what they would do.
Wow.
Our magics do not. The Trinidas' magic has no arts in healing the corruption of a Fae, especially one that is not our own kind. We are stretched thin watching the Philistine.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we would send a messenger to that community. I feel they would welcome us still. If you could find them, you could present the charm we gave you. They would be willing to parlay at that point.
Okay. She's talking about the community to the north of here?
To the north of their community.
Right, the one near Pleston is what?
Right, but that's not north of where you are.
Oh, sorry. Right, okay.
North of the Vetch.
Got it. Okay.
I hope you can find a way to free them. She turns to the flower person, turns back and says, the flower people likewise feel powerless in this area. They do not know the Uthnorn. They have not seen their like. What would you like to do?
So I just prompt them again. So have you heard of such a crown, or of them being captured, or known anyone who can do such arts?
There are stories we've heard of the larger folk enslaving Fae.
Mm-hmm.
That particular artifact is not familiar to us.
Okay.
Communities of Fae sometimes disappear, usually because of the encroachment by larger peoples,
Mm.
sometimes by warfare between tribes, and sometimes corruption does not corrupt, but rather kills.
Mm. And do the Uthnorn have a lifespan? Do they live for, or are they immortal?
They must live many hundreds of years.
Mm.
Their exact lifespan, I don't know. But when they visited more often, we would see the same faces decade after decade with no sign of age.
Right. Okay. And remind me, they said they don't really have the arts to uncorrupt them, right? That would be more of the realm
Right.
of temples. Okay.
Or that they don't know where you would go. I mean,
Right.
they don't have any recommendation for you, and neither do the flower people.
Okay.
So that does, I mean, when he said, the Trinidas said, it's hard to say they said, they don't have the arts, to uncorrupt, especially if it's a different type of fae. So it sounds like they have a little bit of art in
Mm-hmm.
being able to do one of their own kind.
Right.
So it is worth asking the Uthnorn themselves
If they have their own arts or
right,
ways of dealing with their own corrupted folk.
right.
Okay. It's a good lead. And say thank you for everything, for teleporting us and for the information.
We will continue to watch the Philistine. We'll report with any news. You think this is a good place to stop?
Yeah, I think so. We could figure out, I guess, what time of day is it right now?
It is basically sundown now.
Okay. Sundown on the mountain outside Neagrel's Keep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
pretty good. I mean, who needs a miracle roll when you've got the flower children on your side?
it's true. You've made some significant allies, and
Yes.
I mean, you just lucked up that they had news.
Right.
Because I rolled that well ahead of time.
Right. When will they have news?
And so,
I would like to say, before they leave, if we could arrange another meeting in, let's say, a week's time.
Okay.
Thinking if I could go to Pleston, get information from them.
So that would put it what date?
That would put it at the 27th. And then if Fraldrin wanted to ask questions as well, she could be present. So the morning of the 27th.
All right. You definitely knocked some things out. I was looking at this list of other agents, the free agents and the NPC, that I control. And You know, Volshad's been taken down a peg. Um, Trinidas are still on the board, helping. Um, so you did get some information about the Giants.
Right. That's probably enough information for now. Can send someone else next.
That's right. Pretty harrowing.
Oh boy, on giant duty again.
That's right. Who knows? You'll be higher level next time, and it won't be as hard, Yeah. So, well, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode. We always appreciate it. If you think we're doing a good job, hey, please do like and subscribe. If you think we're doing a great job, send us a little love through donor box. Help us offset some of the costs. Please do go check out Max's YouTube channel. You see the short link right there where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Dinovitz for their terrific character art that we use for Brise almost every episode. You can find more of their work at artstation.com/Tortolua. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far that you can find on Amazon. Max, why don't you say goodbye to these lovely people?
Yeah, it was a really fun session, and we'll be back next week to continue the adventure. So
that's right.